Hello and welcome to the 3 secrets about the stressed out IT engineer. We're going to be covering 3 secrets. First secret is why 81% of IT engineers are stressed out and have looping anxiety. Secret number 2 is change can happen instantly. And secret number 3, if stress is ignored, it can harm the body and mind. So, you may have seen me on YouTube. If not, you can find me, Scott Bechtel Hypnotist, if you just search on YouTube. You can see examples of my work and get to know me a little more. So let me ask you this. Would it be worth it to you if I could show you that stress and anxiety doesn't have to be the big bad monster in your life and in your career? And I just have to mention that results that I'm going to be talking about aren't typical, but it can give you an insight that you need to finally get to the root cause of your stress and anxiety. And this is step 1 of that process. Most of my clients have wonderful results. And so I can't guarantee that you will. It's up to you if you do the work. But most of my clients have fantabulous results. So what makes this different? I do things really, really differently. This isn't talk therapy. It's not counseling in the traditional sense. It's not medication. It's not painful. And it's really nothing that you've ever seen or tried before, because you never worked with me before. Hi, my name is Scott Bechtel. I'm an IT stress management expert. I help stressed out IT engineers destroy the stress and anxiety monster without medication or talk therapy by using advanced scientific-based hypnosis. So I spent 21 years in IT, and as you can see, I wore all the hats. Spent most of that time heads down Java development, typing away, pounding the keyboard, but lots of times being a team lead or an IT leader. Manager things. I also spent a lot of time in the integration space, working with WSO2 and web methods, and I also got my TOGAF 9 certification. In the hypnosis world, I've gotten a whole bunch of different certifications. I'm trained in some of the most up-to-date methods in an evidence-based model of hypnosis. So my ideal clients, so clients I work with all the time, are enterprise architects needing to consider the cost of stress in the enterprise, or stress in their own life. Stressed out IT engineers that feel trapped in their job, that they just can't sleep at night. They don't want to get up in the morning. They just feel trapped. They feel stuck, and that creates an anxiety. And so it just starts looping and looping. And the more they don't want to go to work, the more stressed out that they have to go to work. The more stressed out they are at work, the more the anxiety builds. It becomes this never-ending process, reinforcing loop, right? Reinforcing nightmare monster in their brain. IT leaders who have team members that just are stressed out and tired because the projects just keep going and going and going and going. Or I also work with DevOps engineers or IT support people where the stress and anxiety of always being blamed. People always coming to them, it's your fault, what's happening? Why isn't it done yet? And always being blamed. And so that constantly is building and building and building. Trying to work 24/7, always being on call. It's just not fair, right? Or it might be their relationship to how they react and relate to that input. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So I also work with IT engineers that have looping anxiety due to stress at work. Architects that are ready to tackle the big bad habits they've abused as a coping mechanism due to IT stress. Okay, so I think you get the idea. Those are my ideal clients. I also work with other people that aren't in IT, but I relate the easiest with people that are in the information technology space because I spent 21 years in it. Hello, welcome to the 3 secrets about the stressed out IT engineer. So let's get started with that. So secret number 1, why 81% IT engineers are stressed out and have looping anxiety. So my story, so 21 years I was working in IT, and I'd get up, I struggled to get up, I'd hit snooze a bunch of times, struggled to get up, finally make it into the office, and in fact I got so that I would block out the morning hours so that people wouldn't schedule me in meetings, because I knew that when I first got to work I'd be exhausted because I hadn't slept the night before, only 3 or 4 hours of sleep every night. And so I just trying to pull it together every morning, get into work, do the best that I could at that point, and just stressing out, looking at my calendar, looking at the project timelines, and there's just so much to get done. And I'm like, I always need 3-4 times the amount of time that the PMO office would give me to get this work done. And it just went on and on like that for years and years and years and years, and just the weight on my shoulders was so heavy. And you know, I had kids, and I needed that job to be able to keep going, and I got dependent on the income that working in that industry, but I felt stuck and I didn't know what to do, and so I just felt like there's so much pressure and stress and stress and stress, and so that started building anxiety loops of panic attacks, and frankly it just totally got out of hand and went all the way to depression. That's a whole different story. We're not going there today. But because of me not being able to relate to stress, which is input, right? So someone says you need to do something, you have a project, you have a deadline, you have an email that pops up, you have today's fire, you have a stand-up, you have all these different things that you had do's, your to-do list, right? All your JIRA tickets, all your things that you have to manage and do, those are all inputs. But you can have a relationship to those inputs as, oh, that's stress. Okay, so those are my stressors. Anxiety are those emotions and feelings inside, right? And so because I wasn't managing the stress, my relationship to the inputs, then I started having these boiling feelings of, I was quick to anger. So I was angry quickly. When someone would interrupt me, it's like, oh my God, now it's going to take me half an hour to get back on track if I even can. And so frustrations. And it just was lots of life isn't fair, and my managers don't get me, and just lots of bad emotions. Label it whatever you will. Things were out of control. I had to do something. I had to do something different. I had to get my life back on track. I had to be comfortable in my own skin. So I started working with hypnosis. I started doing a lot of self-hypnosis, and me as a hypnotist, I teach you how to do self-hypnosis so that it's not something I do to you. It's something I teach you and train you how to do. And we do it, start off together, so giving you the skills so you can do it for yourself. Anyway, so I dug in with hypnosis, and I just started attacking all the different parts of my life that weren't working. And I'm still in the process of that because, hey, that process never ends, right? We always have something more we can work on in our lives. But I went to bad in my life. And so I changed my relationship to input and stress. I used to be super panicked about money. And that's all gone now. I used to have a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. Now I'm just calm and relaxed and at ease. And yeah, things come up in life. Just take them one at a time. So anyways, I stopped boring you with my story. So recently, doing research for my business, I took a poll on Blind. Blind is an app on my phone that IT engineers use to talk about work anonymously. So I put a poll on there, and so I put this poll up on Blind. So basically, 90 people responded to it, I thought, okay, that's a really good space to cut it off. That was after like 2 days. So it's just a real quick snapshot. Obviously, it's not a scientifically executed poll by any means. It's just people that have lots of emotions or knee-jerk reactions online, right? Just to frame the context of it. But I asked the question of, how stressed out are you day to day in IT? And so I said none, low, moderate, stressed out, and oh my God, get me out of this career now. So if you go from moderate over to get me out of this career now, that was 81% of the 90 votes. So 81% of people in IT that responded say, hey, I have at least moderate stress to extreme stress in their lives, in their career. And so definitely that is an area that I'm an expert in. And so I'm like, hey, definitely there's a market. Definitely there's plenty of people that need my help. Let me reach out and find those people. And so why is stress so high in IT? I don't know, but I'm guessing it has something to do with all the project timelines. So you work on a project, you get done, and then you instantly get another project, and you get done, and you instantly get another project. And often you get a project, you're partway through, and then, you got to work on this other project at the same time. And so you end up with 3, 4, 5 projects all at the same time, trying to juggle all the work and turn them all in. Even if you can get them one at a time, it's back to back, back to back, back to back, right? And so you're constantly running on adrenaline, you're constantly running on cortisol. And so it's that constant fight or flight, constantly fighting and fighting and fighting, is that, oh my God, the sky is falling type sensation. And that really burns out those hormones in your body. And so other things start breaking down. So you quickly become angry. You quickly lose control of your emotions. You lose track of perspective. You get lost in the forest. So you just can't see understand the tasks that you need to be working on. It makes it really hard to think. IT is a thinking career, especially if you're writing code or if you're managing people. The whole industry is a thinking career more than a doing career. And it interrupts those thinking processes. And so my theory, this is a major element of the stress within IT, is the constant project deadlines. And I get it. You're never going to be able to get away from all these different deadlines. This image is just symbolic of, hey, we need to change our relationship to all this constant input, or we're going to go to our default, natural inside defaults that aren't healthy sometimes for many people. So that's my theory of why there's so much stress in IT, is that constant deadline that creates a false sense of danger or panic, trauma. And so if you spend enough years in IT, you almost get PTSD just from the constant input because of the way you relate to it. Okay, secret number 2. Change can happen instantly. So this is related to changing your relationship to stress and anxiety. So when you were little, or if you ever watched a little kid just learning how a light switch works, turn on, up and down, up and down, up and down, because the neural networks are being formed and created, and it's that aha moment. It's that literally the light bulb moment of, oh, this is how it works. Hypnosis is like that. It's an instant thing. It can be. Other things that happen instantly. So you taste a new flavor. You instantly know if you like it or you don't. Or you definitely have I don't know, reaction to it, right? But it's an instant response. Learning to ride a bicycle, it's that, oh, that's the sensation of balance. Okay, this is how it works. Now I can go. Something emotional happens. So if X happens, then I have an instant response of Y. Excuse me. So change happens instantly and in things, it can happen that way too. So in the past, something happened. And so when you're like 3 to 7 years old, something happened to you, right? And you had a response. And it probably was a response to save you, to protect you, to keep you safe. And that worked. And you survived. And you went, aha, when X comes up, I can do Y, and I will be okay. Well, as an adult, X comes up, you do Y, and you're no longer okay because as an adult, people don't expect you to respond that way. Right? So with hypnosis, we can change those instant responses. X happens, now a different Y, maybe a T happens, right? Something you choose, something that we create and install together. Stress can end, and instead you can feel at ease and calm from those same inputs. So when you go to work and you have all these different projects that are deadlines being talked about, you can go, yeah, that's when you need it due. For me to meet that, and whatever the story is, right? But you can create your response instead of having that knee-jerk reaction of, oh my God, the sky is falling, and that internal panic of, okay, what am I going to have to do to make this happen? What corners am I going to have to cut? How many weekends am I not going to be able to have? How late am I going to have to stay up again? I'm going to have to do a heroic effort yet again. You can get rid of all that, and you can advocate for yourself, or you can say the things that you need to say with clarity in ways that people can hear you. So hypnosis has been scientifically studied up and down all around. There's tons and tons of articles out there on Google Scholar about it. Here's just a sampling of some of them. So change can happen instantly. If you change your outlook, you change your experience. Okay, secret number 3. If stress is ignored, it harms your body and your mind. So effects on the body. So if you don't manage your stress and resulting anxiety, so on the body, you have high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, heartburn, weakness of the immune system, tense muscles, pounding heart, fertility problems, erectile dysfunction, you might miss your periods, low sex drive, stomach, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, yes. You get it? extra stress, hypertension. So all this stress, your body goes, okay, you've been ignoring me, I'm going to make you pay attention. And it communicates in the way that the body knows how to communicate. It breaks down. Same with your mind. Headaches, increased depression, insomnia, and a high chance of getting anxiety, panic attacks, and worse. All that is optional. So recapping the 3 secrets. So we talked about why 81% of IT engineers are stressed out and have looping anxiety. Change can happen instantly, and if stress is ignored, it harms our body and our mind. So I'm going to give you a bonus secret as well. Secret number 4. Hypnosis is scientifically proven to aid in managing stress and anxiety. So the Mayo Clinic said on their website, hypnotherapy, so hypnosis, can be an effective method for coping with stress and anxiety. So Mayo Clinic is a really big a medical school, and so they use hypnosis for pain control, hot flashes, behavior change, when they're treating cancer patients to help deal with symptoms. Obviously doesn't cure cancer, not saying that, but the dealing with being able to handle the drugs and pain that's involved in that process. It can help with that a lot. And mental health conditions, right? In fact, if you search Google Scholar, you can find over 65,000 results for hypnosis for stress and anxiety. So it's very scientifically proven and effective for managing stress, for managing anxiety. And so I can teach you a lot of techniques for managing stress, for managing anxiety symptoms. And so let me just give a clarification. I'm a hypnotist, so much closer to a life coach. I'm not a certified therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Just want to make that distinction. I work in the world of hypnosis. Hypnosis is scientifically proven. So they've taken people into MRIs, and so they scanned them where they're just put in, just normal, right? Unhypnotized is a good way to say that. Do the brain scans, right? So that shows up as red in this image. And then they say, okay, now pretend. And they gave them the same input. And that showed up in different locations. And then they hypnotized this person. And they did the scans again, and that shows up in different areas. And I mean, they did multiple people, obviously. It's a whole scientific study. I watched a whole presentation on it. It was like 3 hours, and I geeked out on it, right? It's just fascinating. But I bring this up to point out that something different happens when someone's going through a hypnosis process. And it's different than daydreaming. It's different than faking or pretending. There's something distinct happening. And to be honest, they're still trying to find out scientifically what hypnosis is. But it doesn't matter what it is, it works. And there's evidence that it's distinct and different. And so I can help you use that process. So let me ask you a question. If we could work on fixing your own root cause of stress and anxiety, would you be interested? This is a one-on-one, bespoke, crafted program for you with your own concerns. So imagine this. The stress monster is slain. You can be calm and at ease and confident at work again. Anxiety loops have been broken, and you're fearless, relaxed, and comfortable in your own skin again. And bonus, worry? What worry? Because if you're not stressed out, you're not anxious, what's to worry about? So during this webinar, I shared 3 secrets with you. And I hope you agree that it's been time well spent together. And I can't cover everything you need in such a short webinar. I have a special offer so you can get everything you need to know. And if you act fast, I'm going to open up my diary and offer you a free discovery call with me. Let me explain what a discovery call is. So a discovery call is a free 45-minute one-on-one call with me. You know, you have one-on-ones with your managers or your direct reports. That's basically what this is. It's a free call where we can talk about your particular issues. What's stressing you out? What's making you anxious? What's giving you panic attacks? What are you worrying about? What do you have self-doubt about? Whatever it is for you that's in this type of ballpark that you want to talk about, let's do that. We'll set up an online conference call together, and we'll talk about what your concerns and issues are around stress and anxiety. And then I'll let you know if my services are a match for you. And I'll detail exactly what we'll do to help you address your stress and anxiety. Or if we're not a match, I'll freely tell you that as well. So go ahead, right under this presentation, there's a button that looks like this image right here. It says, get started now. Click here to schedule your free discovery session. So go ahead and click that. Again, we're going to be fixing your root cause of stress and anxiety. So that's why we need to work one-on-one. We'll start off with a discovery call and go from there. This isn't a pre-recorded program. I do have those, so there's nothing wrong with those. But this is going to be custom to you. And so that's why the first step is a free discovery call, so that I can learn what you're needing, so we can find out if my services and your needs are a match. So who's a discovery call for? So it's for people that are motivated and ready to finally overcome stress and anxiety. I bet that's you. People that are committed to change, and people that can follow directions. Hypnosis, for hypnosis to work, part of that process is to follow directions. It's almost like programming in that you do this, you do this, you do this, okay, now you get the result. Hello world. Well, hello brain. It can be really that simple. Who the discovery call is not for. Someone who is still looking and not really ready to commit it or ready to make a change. Someone that's floundering and trying to figure out, but doesn't, someone that's, it's not for people that aren't hungry for it, is an easy way to say it. Someone who is not ready to invest their time and money into themselves to overcome stress and anxiety. Someone who is just looking for something to do, like go watch TV or something. Someone who complains a lot or has a bad attitude, no thanks. I can only help so many people. So I'm moving up my calendar for the next 14 days to take discovery calls, and I only have room for 10 people. My calendar fills up really quick. So once these 10 spots have been filled, this offer is going to be taken away. My calendar is going to be closed up again. So don't hesitate. Jump right now, click that button, and schedule your free 45-minute discovery call with me right now. So book your discovery call now and fill in the survey. So the survey, so what you're going to do, so you're going to click this button. It's going to take you to a calendar. You pick the time and date that works the best for you, rather date than time. You pick that. The next step is to fill out a survey. So in the survey, it's just going to ask you 10 simple questions, but I want you to really think about those questions, or really think about what it is that you're wanting to get out of this conversation with me. I look forward to working with you. I can't wait to talk to you really soon. Thank you.